What's up everybody? So this will be a different style video. This is actually an NVDA loss that I took, and I wanted to cover this on Delta Airlines, but one of my video files corrupted, so it kind of messed up. So I'm actually kind of glad I took this loss because it was kind of in a similar fashion to what I did on Delta. So it kind of just puts you in a good mood of showing you, hey, you can lose. There are good setups that lose. You're not always going to win. There is nothing that is 100% certain. You could get the most passive signal ever and still lose a trade. So on this trade, I took NVIDIA at 4.0, so I basically spent $400 on a contract, and then I ended up cutting it at 375. So I lost $25 plus whatever the fees are. So I think I pay 50 in fees. So I lost $26 on this NVIDIA trade today. So overall, this video is mainly just to learn how to accept your losses, learn how to accept them and what to do next. And I'll go over a couple other things in this video. So I'm just going to go over the recording and I'll skip through it so you can get my thinking. But right now, in this trade, I'm looking for a low, and I got another low here for a double bottom. And I want to look for a buy the dip strat. So I need to see a rising volume push over this resistance since we've already gotten one good rising volume close over the 9. So this was a really good entry. I ended up checking the chart a little late, so I'm 10 minutes late on it. But a good push over this would be good. So since I'm not getting one, I want to look for another dip, and then I'll get in for another push. And across this video, you'll see me check SPY, Qs, SOX, SMH, a couple other tickers probably. SOXX and SMH, by the way, when I say SOX or SMH, it's just a semiconductor ETF. So actually, I think I had already entered. I think I skipped over it. Here, let me go see. Filled orders, what time was it? At 10:44. Yeah, I already entered this chart. Let me go back. Sorry, there we are. So on this dip, sorry about that. I should have been better prepared. But on this dip here, I wanted to get into this trade. Like I said, when I was up there, I was a little late, so I needed to wait for any kind of like slowdown signal or something before an open range breakout, or just enter on an open range breakout. That would have been nice too. Which I didn't get. Which an open range breakout would be a close over 168.62 with rising volume. Didn't get that quite yet. So you saw me enter there. I like that the doji's turning green towards the end of that 5-minute candle, 10:45. So last 10 seconds of that candle, I entered as it was turning green. So pretty good signal. I like that I have rising volume here. I like the base. The market at the same time is kind of doing the same thing, which I didn't show it here, but I'll show it right after we go over this. I get rising volume, or no, not rising volume. I get a pretty good push over this. It's giving me a little bit more confidence. I'm like, all right, good. I'm in a trade. I start highlighting my most likely target from today's high down to today's open, but also highlighting that big important 169.85 level. And we end up getting a rejection there, so not a good sign. I haven't exited yet. I exit at the end of this recording. We still just get a bunch of trading underneath. You can see I just get a bunch of trading underneath, nothing big. I get a slight push above it, giving me extra confidence again, kind of false confidence again. And you see we just continuously don't get that breakout. We get rising volume, a slight push again, but I'm continuously rejecting the same level. So each time you do this, this should be giving you less confidence. So we got pretty good confidence when this pushed, and then we didn't because it ended up closing under, so not good. Not good, not good, not good. And this should continually stack up as the trade progresses. So if you don't end up getting a good signal to take you higher, it's going to end up failing. You're going to see fear step in. You got to remember, we are kind of at resistances on the bigger time frames. So I'll skip through this a little bit. You can see we end up getting a pretty good rising volume hammer holding the 9 still. So we haven't broken this resistance really well, but we also haven't broken support. So that's why I'm still sitting in this trade. There's just nothing, that's really pushed me or forced me out of the trade quite yet. We end up just getting kind of a reset candle holding above, nothing amazing, and then it breaks back under, pretty much invalidating this candle here. Coming back down with almost the same amount of volume, and now we're testing the 9 again. So back to being a 50-50 situation. Oh, and I'll go back. This is where I start checking everything. So since I see that this is weak, a very weak move, it has yet to push over, I start to think like, all right, well, I need to see what is everything else doing, which I'm already doing on another monitor, but for the recording sake, I went back through all of them real quick right here in a second. So I'll let that play out as well. And yeah, we're just still getting 50-50 price action. We have a good base, we have a good entry point. We just need that new high with good follow through, and we're not getting it. And you got to remember, remember why you're in the trade. What are you looking for? What's your stop loss? Everything should be prepared. Therefore, the trade is effortless. At this point, yeah, it's going against me, but I'm not pouting about it. There's just no reason to complain. Nothing has really forced me out of the trade yet. I see the Qs have closed under the 9. I see SMH just pushing under the 9 a little bit, rejecting the previous day lows, as well as today's open and high. You see me highlight that. I go to SOX, the other semiconductor ETF. I highlight the same info, previous day low to today's open and today's high. Highlighting that. So just getting a lot of good comparison views. And you can see on all those charts, there was good rising volume breaking down under that 9. So then I come back and I just sit on NVDA for a little bit longer. And at any point in this trade, I get a break under the 9 EMA with any kind of decent volume, or under that significant hammer candle right here that I thought was going to be a good hold, or even my entry candle, where I entered back here on the dips, then it's not looking good. It's probably going to end up going testing 167.70s, which I don't need to hold to. I'm not looking to take a big loss. There's only a few outcomes of a trade. You get a big win, you get a small win, you get a neutral trade, or you get a small loss. You should never experience a huge or big loss. I didn't even see the percentage, but what did I lose? $25 out of 400 is 6.25%. So I really didn't lose too much. Even from a mental standpoint, it really hasn't knocked me out. Psychologically, I'm not sitting here like, oh damn, that was a crappy trade. Like, no, I actually like my entry. I just didn't get good follow through, and you will have to experience trades like that where you lose. And this is where I again title this "Accepting Your Losses." You should just accept your losses and then review. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna go through this, see where I exit, see where I end up cutting this. I think it's up here. Yeah, we end up getting more volume stepping in, taking us a little bit lower. End up cutting this pretty soon. Actually, I think I already did. Yeah, towards the beginning of this, when it clicks over to the last minute of the candle, the last 50 seconds is where I cut it. So I see that volume's kind of picking up. I'm still looking at my other monitor as well, seeing SPY and Qs hold the same way. So I'm just not looking to try and hold this too far. I'm just trying to stick to a quick play. If I don't like it, if it would have continued on and hit 169.85, I'd be taking profits right now. Came down and hit 167.75. We're cutting under the 90 EMA. I'd cut it. There you go. 6.25% loss. And I wanted to post a video like this in the playlist because it just goes to show, you will lose plays. So you shouldn't expect to just watch trade reviews of just winning trades. There are losing trades, and there's plenty of people who do that in the post gains channel or in the trade floor or post charts. They always go in there and they talk about what was going through their head, or what they might have done differently, or why they lost. And yeah, that's the end of that. So we'll exit that and we'll go to it now. So you can see this is all that's happened since my trade. We've broken down, and now we're just still resting under the 9. So nothing really new has happened. But a big thing that got me out of the trade was SPY pushing, because you can see SPY did move a lot more than the NVIDIA chart did, as it pushed through not just the today's open and all that, but it ended up breaking out the next level as well. Qs doing the same exact action. So again, just not a trade I'm comfortable to sit in much longer. Now, if you get another, we could talk about re-entry as well. If we end up getting another push above this level, then yeah, could always re-enter it again. If we end up getting a continuation under whatever, if you like trend lines, or if you like waiting for a true level to break, like today's low, if it end up breaking this entire area here, if it ended up breaking that, you could take open range breakout. Over this, you could take an inside of the range scalp towards today's open. Yeah, definitely. But for this quick trade that I'm getting in for, that I've planned, that's what I'm prepared for. I'm not looking to talk about what I could or would have done. I'm here to talk about what I did and what I could do next time. So I'm actually glad I ended up taking my loss there on NVIDIA. And I can look forward to trying and taking another trade either over this high or back under this new low. I don't have to sit here and pout about it. I can review what I did and review what I can do next time. So hopefully you enjoyed this type of video, because it's a little different from the rest of them, where you're not just looking at a winning outcome. You actually are getting the reality of trading, where you will have to accept some of your losses. But the better part to understand from this video, or to take away from this, is being prepared beforehand, understanding where's your target, where's your stop loss, what are the levels around you, understanding everything around that. Beforehand, not when you're getting into the chart for the first time. This should have all been done before today, and then you could come back and you could be a little bit more confident in what you're looking at. But hopefully you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Just one more thing I wanted to add on to here. I kind of didn't go back and do this, and I literally wrote down a note and forgot to do it. But there's one more thing that could have actually stopped me from cutting this too. This is one more thing you should do. Not sit here and go, oh wow, imagine if I would have just done this. You know, we all make mistakes. You'll see I made a very clear mistake here in a second. But cutting here, you know, I actually didn't do all my prep. I just focused on the 9 EMA. I didn't really focus on my price action as much as I should have. You know, it's a big mistake on my part. When really I should be going from my low, you know, where we have the meat of our low, to, you know, where we have our main high at. You know, and you can see we actually pushed down to the control point. You know, if I should actually still be in this trade, looking to try and hold down to this level. So not sticking to my plan of holding to 167.75, or you know, even waiting just for a good fib level. I didn't even grab one. You know, you could see my prep was off. You know, I had all the good levels, I had all the good EMAs, the volume, I had all the good information. I just didn't grab that one thing. And now I'm not saying that you have to grab a fib every time and that should save you every time, but that is a very easy thing I do every single day in stream that I just overlooked, and it kind of messed up with me. So as you can see, we all take losses, and it's better to just accept and wait for new opportunity. So already looking inside of another green trade right now to the resistance. So regardless of the outcome, just learn to accept your losses, to what you planned. That's not what I planned for, so of course I cut there. But next time I know better. So that's the best part, you know, is just looking back, thinking about what you can do to change the future opportunities that you end up getting in. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video again, and I'll just throw this at the end of the video. Thank you.